You bring up the situation in Buffalo and Jack Eichel. I mean, we were all listening to Jack Eichel and what he had to say earlier this week. Now, Kevyn Adams has spoke on the subject as well. Let's first take a listen to some of that sound, and then we'll get your thoughts on it, Elliot.
I do want to drive a point home that's critically important. We all want the same thing here when it comes to Jack Eichel. Healthy, to be able to play, one of the best players in the world like he's proven he is. So we all want the same thing here. Another probably point I want to drive home that I just laid out until where we are today. Communication, constant communication. Our organization to Jack's agents, doctors to Jack. I want players waking up every day thinking about how can I help this franchise go to the right way. And I understand there's players, and you want to say, veteran type players that have been through a lot here to get this right with the people that want to be here.
Elliot, I read your 31 thoughts earlier this morning, and you said you would paint your best Picasso in explaining what happened between Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres. Now that you've listened to Kevyn Adams speak, what do you make of what's gone on here and how realistic it might be or might not be for these two sides to kind of meet in the middle and fix things or not?
Well, the first thing, Jackie, is that I'm glad that my Picasso was reasonably accurate. You'd hate to paint a terrible Picasso. Yeah. So hearing what Kevyn Adams had to say today made me feel a lot better. I was very confident in the information, but you're always worried that when someone goes public, you're going to be wrong somewhere. It's a tough one. It's a really, really tough one because Jack Eichel wants a certain procedure, what's called a cervical disc replacement. And the team doesn't want to do it. And the way I interpret the CBA, Jackie, is the team has the call. And I asked Kevyn Adams if he interpreted it the same way and didn't want to go there. I had heard it was a month period where they would sit back and kind of wait. Kevyn Adams said it was 12 weeks, and they're coming to the end of it. It's sometime around the end of this month. And I think Eichel still wants to go through with this replacement, and the team just doesn't want to do it. And I can tell you what the issue is, guys, for anyone who didn't read the blog, is that it's something that's been out there in Europe for quite a bit, but it's relatively new in North America. And there aren't any examples of NHL players who've had the disc replacement. Like normally if you had this kind of thing, you'd do a spinal fusion. That stuff a lot of us have heard of. But now they're trying these artificial disc replacements, and there's no history of an NHL player coming back with one. There are now mixed martial artists who have. Chris Weidman was one. He fought 3 times after getting one. And there's another fighter who had one last month, and the doctors have said he'll be healthy in 2 more months. So the science is coming. It's just not there yet. And while we've seen Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby do the unconventional to come back better than ever, the Sabres are not comfortable with this yet. I think Kevyn Adams said today, he tried to make it sound as calm and as even as he could. I don't think that's going to sate Jack Eichel. I think he wants to do this. And I think it's a very, very difficult situation to bridge. And I think it's going to be very, very hard to bridge it between the team and this particular player.
And a situation we will certainly be monitoring in the coming weeks. Elliot, we see you every day these days. It's wonderful. Yes. The more news there is, the more we get to talk to you. So thank you again, and shout out to Deb. I mean, the Suits get a lot of play on this network.
That's true.
Oh, I just have to say, as my wife always tells me, the less I see you, the more I like you. So you're getting it more than she does right now.
Yeah, I get the same line. Yeah.
All right, Elliot, we'll be chatting with you. Enjoy the rest of your week.